Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today, we're back with children's author and wellness guru, Leslie Ann Wall. Hey, Leslie, welcome back.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So
It's
grateful to be here.
great to have you back. And today, I want to discuss children's book writing with you. So, how does your experience as a wellness guru influence the themes and messages that you've written in your children's book?
Yeah, this was kind of funny. I started this. I find that I joke as a health coach that I don't work with people over the age of 6 because we have learned our behaviors and we've learned some of the things that we let rule our life when we were very young. So I
Mm,
worked in cardiac surgery and I would notice that some of the surgeons would literally have like a tantrum in the middle of surgery. And I'm like, God, they
wow.
look so much like a little kid, like that just got their cookie taken away from them, um, so I realized in that moment that like children's books are so influential because our minds are really shaping, at past 6, we've already kind of set up our belief systems and our laws that we kind of dictate our life by.
Mhm.
So I love creating from that space and wanting to be really influential for children in that capacity because there's so much that we can teach them through children's books and under instilling like certain values and how to deal with emotions and big emotions, and if they can learn those things through the children's books that they are exposed to, then they can kind of carry those lessons with them throughout life.
That's a great point. And how would you say that other children's authors could channel their experience to shape their books as well?
I love this question. I get a lot of people that ask me about the book and they tell me, I want to write this book. I have this idea. And I'm like, okay, well, what makes you want to write the book? And they're like, because this. If you don't have a big enough why, or if you don't have like personal experience with a book, or if you don't have enough of a passion behind that, you're not going to want to go through the process of creating a book because it sometimes, I mean, it gets a little bit frustrating, at times,
Mm,
but pick something that you're passionate about, something that you've personally been through. I've been diagnosed with autism and ADHD at 41. And I've noticed through my personal research that we are missing entire sections of people, like kids with handicaps and kids with neurodiversity, and kids want to see themselves in the characters and in the work. A lot of kids use these characters as mentors. That's
mm.
their first exposure to their mentor. So and especially ADHD, autism kids, they really identify with animation and characters. So if you can kind of keep that perspective in mind and cater to like cultural diversity, and what makes your children's book idea stand out, and what's something that you can build off of that you've personally gone through in your life that you can kind of build from.
Now, I have another question on top of that. What are some more specific elements that an author should consider when writing stories for children?
Yeah, I think dark and light is really important. Having like Grimm's tales, having that like redemption story or that hero's journey. Everybody wants the good guy to win. So understanding the journey of your character and the character development through that. Have something that can really stand out in a crowded market, and I
Mm.
think those dark and light stories are really brilliant, because there's a lot of people. You have to understand, like kids are reading these books, but adults are reading them too. I have more kids' books in my library than I do adult books because
Right.
I love them. I love the illustrations. I love the stories. Um, so you can kind of play off of that.
Exactly. And how do you ensure that your children's books are both entertaining and educational while also instilling values and teaching lessons?
I really love humor. I think that people are being preached at and educated a lot. There's so many like people on their pedestals, and I think that just bringing humor and keeping it lighthearted and coming from, your soul and your heart. I really write from my heart, so it comes from a completely different place and than when I'm trying to educate.
And what feedback have you received from parents and children about your book? And how has it shaped your approach to writing for your readers?
This really has been the most unexpected part of it. I don't personally have children. Again, I was a nurse, so I had no background in, publishing children's books, but watching kids and their families come to life, through this book, I did a lot of like organic marketing with this. So I invited a lot of people into my home and we had a fire and roasted marshmallows. So I read the book to kids, and then it's a fall themed book. So I went to pumpkin patches, and just seeing the children really identify with the characters and show me their favorite pumpkin, and um the excitement around that, and just seeing how worn out these books are, right? They take it to
Mm,
bed with them every night, and like there's
right.
chocolate stains and jello on there, and they really love these books. And it just, that is really where you start to realize, like, oh, this little, I think imposter syndrome's, always there. Like, I'm not good enough to write this book. What is this book going to do? And then that feedback is really what fuels you and lets you
Mhm.
know that, like, that creative process and all the things that you just went through was so worth it. And putting yourself out there was so worth it.
Right. Well, Leslie, thank you so much. That was wonderful insight on writing your children's book.
Thank you so much.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into today's interview with children's author and wellness guru, Leslie Ann Wall. Be sure to check out our website for more videos. Wishing you all a fulfilling and successful writing journey.